Hey there, my name is Daleen Byam. I'm an anxiety coach for teenagers, and this is just a quick video to help with test anxiety. I feel like it's something that comes up for our teens, especially at the end of the school year when they've got all their state testing. I'm from Canada, so we call it provincial testing. All these tests that they have, finals, everything, kind of all comes on to them, and they start to have what's called test anxiety. And so I've kind of come up with this plan to help your teen so that they know what to do and that you know what to do and can help them with it. So the first thing that I think is super important is to take all their what ifs and get them written down on a piece of paper. This would be done before testing starts so that they have an idea of what's going through their head and you have an idea of what's going through their head, and get them all written down on paper so that you can see them and they can see them too. And look at them. Some of them are going to be unrealistic, and talk about those things and maybe cross them off their list if you can. Don't cross them off the list just because you feel it's not unrealistic or not something that they need to listen to, but because they believe it too. And then as you look at all their what ifs, I want you to, on the next column next to them, change them all to if then statements. So for example, what if I don't know the answer on the test? Change it to, if I don't know the answer on the test, then I'm going to do this. You're going to skip the question and come back to it. You're going to take an educated guess, whatever it is. So also, for example, what if I start to feel sick? If I start to feel sick, then this is what I'm going to do. These are the strategies that they're going to use within the test to quiet all those what ifs that are going to go through their test, through their minds as they're taking their test. This is super duper important so that they can kind of have a plan and know what they're going to do, because a lot of anxiety comes up because we don't know what the future is going to hold. We don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know what to do. So if you can do that, quiet some of their what ifs into making a plan, it's going to help a ton. So this is what I want you to do the day of the test. Have them choose a calming playlist that they can play, a distraction playlist. That they can play before they head to their test, in the morning before they head out to school or whatever it is. Now, what we think is calming to us may be completely different what calming is to your teen. So keep that in mind. Let them choose what works for them. And if it's rap music, it's rap music, and that's okay. Whatever works for them. Let them choose something that's just going to quiet their brain, distract them a little bit, and keep them from getting into those what if circles again. And then the next thing is come up with some great grounding strategies that they can use right before the test starts. And I'm going to share with you 3 of my favorite ones that I love, that work really well for me and work really well for my own teenagers and work really well for my clients. So the first one is breathing. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose really slowly, 3 or 4 times. But I want them to really pay attention to the temperature of the air as it's going into their nose and the temperature change that is created when they blow out of their nose. And really, really pay attention to that. Have them do it 3 or 4 times. The next one that I love is paying attention to noises, the noises that are outside of their classroom. Really pay attention to that. See if they can hear what's going on outside of their classroom, and then bring it in and listen to the noises that are within their classroom, the clock ticking, other people breathing, people's tapping, that kind of stuff. And then bring it in again and pay attention to the noises within their body. What are the noises that they can hear? Their blood pumping, maybe their heart beating really intense, the breathing, the sound of their breathing. Pay attention to that. Just kind of brings their brain into themselves and kind of helps them concentrate a little bit. The third one that I love is have them put their feet flat on the ground and really feel their toes touching whatever it is, their shoes, their socks, and really pay attention to each individual toe and how it feels. And listen and pay attention to those, and just really grounds themselves to the ground and just kind of helps them focus in for a second. And actually, I'm going to share 4. The 4th one that I really like is just rubbing their hands together and really feeling all the lines and all the divots and all the things that they feel within their hand, and just kind of circling it and paying attention to that, and and calming yourself that way. So those are the 4 things that I absolutely love right before the test starts. That just kind of helps them calm their brain and ground themselves a little bit before it starts. And then the last thing is, once the test is over, create a celebration. They've done something big. They've accomplished. No matter what the grade is, no matter what the outcome is, celebrate it. They made it through. And the celebrations that I like are not like big celebrations, but celebrations within themselves. And the 3 that I really like is just giving themselves a little fist pump, right? Do it together. Be like, yeah, we did it. We did it. It was so good. Or high five themselves. Have them high five themselves. Give them a little high five. And the 3rd one that I love, and obviously I love music, I think it's so fun, is put on a pump up song that really celebrates them, that they love their favorite song, and just dance like a maniac to it and just really create that celebration. The reason that we do celebrations is because our brain and our body loves it. It gives us that feeling and excitement and that endorphin hit, and then our brain wants to do it again. So if we celebrate when we do really well on a test, well, not well, but we finish it and we get it done, then our brain's okay to do it again. And it's fine to do it again and allow that to happen again, because it liked the feeling that it had when it was over. So those are my tips for test anxiety. Give them a try, see how they work, and adapt or change it to whatever works for your team. But if you have a teen anxiety plan, it's just so much easier for them, and it kind of relaxes them, and then they know that they can do it, and they can. It's hard. The last tip that I have is, don't tell them to not feel anxious or worried. Because the problem is when we feel anxious or worried and our parents are telling us not to, then we feel anxious that we're anxious, or worried that we're worried. And it kind of adds to it. It does the opposite. So don't tell them. It's okay. It's so normal. Of course, they're anxious about a test. Of course, they're worried about it. It's part of being a person, and that's okay. It's fine. Now let's make a plan. Good luck.